Hey everyone, I hope you are all having a great week and I hope you are all settling into the class pretty easily. Of course, as counselors, therapists, psychotherapists, psychologists, whatever, our job is never really easy, but hopefully you're not having too much trouble with the course. All right, so I did want to make a video just going over your mock session that will be due at the end of week 3. A couple of you have asked me when it's due, and just like I am with everything, look at your syllabus. All of your due dates are there. So if you have a question on when something is due, check the syllabus first before asking me, because then I'm going to be like, it's there. So, anyways, all right. So, for your mock session, what you're going to do is you are going to choose somebody, whether that is a friend, family member, coworker, does not matter who it is, as long as they agree to do it. And I will also send you a consent form. It's really easy, just fill it out for you and your potential client because you want to start getting into the habit of doing that because you will have to have sometimes clients sign feedback or consent forms if they're going to be, if you're going to talk to another doctor or you're going to talk to another medical health professional, or even if you want to talk to a family member, you are never to talk to anybody without their written consent. And you just want to keep that in your head because that's liability. All right, so let's look at this. So when you're choosing somebody, you're going to find someone that you're going to role play with. I really don't want you to be stressed out over this. This is supposed to just be your first mock session. It's not going to be perfect. I am not grading on perfection. I am just grading that you did it. Pretty much that's it. You want to have in mind that it is a, quote unquote interview counseling session, kind of first meet and greet, kind of what brought you in here. There is no set standard as to what you have to say. I want you to try to just put it in your mind. What would I do if this were my office? So, because that's going to be like how you are as a clinician. So the volunteer client can select almost any topic for the session. If I were you, I would choose it. So you can choose what the issue is. Or you can ask the person, hey, what would be something you would want to talk about if you were in therapy? So that might be, another good idea. All right, so a useful topic might be some type of interpersonal conflict, such as concern over family tensions or a decision about a new job opportunity. And then just the book gives a couple other suggestions. A friend or family member in conflict, a positive addiction, such as jogging, health food, biking, team sports. Now, that's what they give in the book. I think it's kind of like an oxymoron when you say a positive addiction because positive and addiction are kind of opposites. However, that is what's in the book, but then I add my little kind of watch this because not everything in the book is actually a great idea. So I put that in there because I wanted you to see that. Strengths from spirituality or ethnic racial background. And just really quick, I did have one student last year, and I'm going to include hers because she signed a consent that I could show you guys her role play. And so when I do that, you'll notice that the person that she chose had an addiction, a so-called addiction of eating healthy. And it's really interesting how she turned that conversation around because sometimes you think one thing, but then it leads to something else. So, all right, so you're going to choose an issue. Step 2, the counselor will practice counseling the client for at least 15 minutes using their own natural style. So, bottom line is it's a minimum of 15 minutes. You don't need to go more than that because I'm just looking at a snapshot of what, I can tell within 15 minutes like what I'm looking for. So now, mind you, one of my students that I'm going to upload, she did a long session. You do not have to do that, but it is a minimum of 15. So do at least 15 minutes. Don't go crazy. You would never want to do more than an hour because typically you wouldn't do that in a real session, but I don't want you to worry. 15 minutes is really what I'm looking for in this. Then you will conduct your 15-minute practice session using your natural style. So again, do what's comfortable for you. Then you're going to review the practice session and provide feedback for 6 to 7 minutes. So now with that, you don't need to upload another video. I had a couple students that did that. You don't need to do that. Just do the 15-minute session. You're going to give them the client feedback form. Now, when they're talking about that 6 to 7 minute session, that is something that you can just have them fill out, or you can live record it. It doesn't matter. All I'm looking for is that you turn that in. In practice sessions, always seek immediate feedback from clients, classmates, and colleagues. We suggest that you use this form for this purpose with your own adaptations and changes throughout your practice sessions and later as a practicing professional. All right, that's all I'm going to read on that for you. You can read the rest of it. But as far as just this goes, just make it simple. 15-minute session, pick an issue, interview them. What brought you in here? What would you like to discuss? What are your goals for therapy? And you're going to end the session with however you want to end it. You don't want to just end abruptly, but you want to, thank them for coming in, ask them if they feel, some people will say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your stress? You may ask going in. So, okay, in this moment, how is your anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10? They'll give it to you. Then before the session is over, you'll say, okay, now that we've had a moment to discuss the issues, what is your level of anxiety now on a scale of 1 to 10? Now, when you're in real practice, of course, you want that to be lower. So this is just kind of a wrap up of the session. And then you can say, all right, so maybe next week we'll discuss boom, whatever. And then you can tell them you can make an appointment with my secretary, or you can make an appointment with my front office staff, or you can say, let's make the appointment now. But the point is, not everyone is going to be the same. When you're in your own practice, you might have your own practice. You might work for an agency. There might be somebody that does that. So just do what's comfortable for you. And then I will upload 2 of my students from the past, from last semester, what they did. And this was their very first session. And I don't want you to look at them and be like, whoa, like that's really good, because they were good. Um, and it doesn't mean that if you don't do it like they did, you're still going to get the good grade. The only thing that I will say is if there is a lot of noise in the background, if there are animals barking, if someone walks into the session, because you'll notice in the one I upload, she had someone that walked in, but she did such a good job of not letting that phase her. And that is the reason I wanted to use that as an example, so that I could tell newer students, hey, make sure that when you're doing this, do it in a private setting. No one's walking in the front door or the kitchen, or the microwave or dishwasher is not going off. So you just want to make sure. I've had people do these sessions, these mock sessions, in their bed on the floor, lying down. And I'm like, that's not what you do. So make sure that when you do this, just do it in a professional manner. And, as we move further, you will see that counseling can take place in many places. It can be at a coffee shop. It could be at a park. It could be in an office. It could be at their house if you are willing to do that. But when it comes to all of that, you've got to look at HIPAA. You've got to look at privacy. They have to sign things. So just to make everything easier, maybe just do it in your house, at a table, and if you have an office, somewhere that's private. So I know I keep hammering that, but I did that last time and people did not kind of listen to that. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But otherwise, just have fun with it, and it should be a breeze. All right, then when you look at this, I wanted to show you this too. This is the form you're going to give them digitally, and they can, bring up Adobe and then they can just circle it, or you can print it out and then take a screenshot and send it to me. But after, you're going to put the date, you're going to put your name, you're going to put the name of the person, or they're going to put their name. Um, and then you're going to do the scale from 1 to 7: awareness, knowledge, skills, action. And they're just going to answer these questions. And then they are going to, don't forget this part, they're going to look at these questions. And then, okay, so what did you find helpful? What did the interviewer do that was right? Be specific. For example, not you did great, but rather you listened to me carefully when I talked about blank. So just have them fill that out and you are good to go. So again, if you have any issues and need any help, please feel free to reach out and we can have a quick meeting about it. All right. Well, happy counseling. This is your first of what hopefully will be very many, and it'll be something wonderful for you to save so that when you look down the road and you look at this one, you'll see the tremendous amount of growth that you, you know, went through. So, with that said, I will talk to you soon, guys. Peace.